down for Cheap Movie Tuesday. I've got my hat and a pullover on because this weather is unacceptable for June. Look at that. No.
Did you want to like next one?
Hi, I'm Dory.
It actually goes about a kilometer of the sidewalk switching back and forth. Makes it almost impossible to traverse properly. Every time I come through here, I look up that damn hill. I've run up it once. That was rough. I took off my jacket to start out with because I figured I'm gonna get cooler later. At least if I start out with some uphill, I'm gonna have some heat built up anyway. But these Merrell Trail shoes, I think I've got, I don't know, maybe another month worth of running in them. But I thought I'd save the majority of their tread. I'm doing the Rugged Maniac. That's what I did with my last set, is I took them to just the worn out point and then I ran them in the race and they were just, caked with mud. Things I've learned from running: never trust a fart, and it'll follow along the flat part. Well, I hope it'll follow along the flat part. I'm really not interested in a whole lot of hills today. It's usually pretty clear, and depending on where you are, they actually have to make the signposts bigger to hold all the signs. This is one of the hidden ponds that are along the highway. Most people aren't even aware of. From up here, it doesn't look like there's much life, but if you're able to see down in, there's all kinds of little creatures flitting about. It's really quite lovely. Sheep Paddocks Viewpoint doesn't go to Pit River Road, which is where I want to go. I was hoping that it would cut through. I'm curious to see where it is now though. I tried there last year and it was just a muddy bog. Access point here. It'd be really nice if we could cut through there. Looks like they've been doing it in phases. It's 2004, 2008. So who knows, maybe in the future they'll have this opened up. That'd be really nice. That's okay. It's pretty. I'm gonna take a brief break just on the other side of the bridge. I'm using the Zombies Run app again and I love it. I love the fact that it's a storyline. It's like radio play quality, that I can set it. Right now I've finished one mission and it's just on radio play, so essentially the announcers are acting like radio DJs and they'll cut in on a song and they'll chat for a minute and then go back to the music. And since it's my music, I'm enjoying it anyway. But yeah, it's definitely a great tool to use. I'm going to continue to use it, and I'll see what the longevity is, if it's worth buying or subscribing to it. I'm not so big on subscription apps, but maybe something like this, if it does prove to be useful long term, especially if they keep adding storyline to it, might be worthwhile. I did want to talk for a minute about what I was wearing on my feet. As I mentioned, I'm wearing the Merrell Trail shoes. So these aren't quite as common as they were a few years ago. It appears that that huge surge of minimalist and barefoot running shoes everywhere has cut down quite a bit. However, they're still good shoes. I still like Merrell's. I just prefer other brands. I picked these up for longer runs back when I was still training my feet to need more protection. They have had a lot of wear and tear. I don't even know how many kilometers on them, at least several hundred. Most of the tread has been worn down pretty smooth with just a little bit left over in the toes for dig-in traction. But there's enough protection that I think I can get a bit more wear. I do like the breathable uppers. I don't really care about all this design stuff. Really, I'm more utilitarian when it comes to shoes. I can tell that they're starting to get too worn in though when there's breakdown in the uppers, when it's just like weakly held on and it's harder for it to fit to my foot. They've got a few points where they're losing their stitching, but otherwise they've held up really well. All of the Merrells that I've had have worn quite well, especially since I run in all-terrain, wet weather, run through creeks, mud, etc. Pretty comfortable. I love the fact that they do have a wider toe box and that they anatomically fit the foot here. I would prefer if they didn't have anything here in the arch, but because I'm primarily a mid to 4 foot runner, this isn't really making a lot of contact anyway, so I don't have to worry about it. I just prefer not having anything underneath my arch. I'm always marveling at the beauty around here, but how can you not? I do love that they have these biodegradable bags and garbages all over the place here. Nothing worse than finding the dog poop bags discarded along the trail. Never mind is it disrespectful and actually littering, but it stinks. Oh, nobody needs that. So there's a trail that heads off that way, about 1 kilometer. It connects with Shaughnessy. We're going to go this way, access to Pitt River Road. And of course, be bear aware. Always bear aware. Just cracked the 10K mark, 1 hour and 18 minutes. Still feeling a bit slow, but that's okay. I'll just keep going. That's usually the theme of my life. The river's pretty sedate after a couple dry days. Hi kitty, how you doing? It's funny what becomes relative. 2 months ago, 4 kilometers were kicking my butt. Now 15 is. I know I can do more. I know I can. I have done more, a lot more. But what I really want is a big piece of pizza, a hot foot soak, and a cold glass of lemonade. Yeah. Incredibly stylish head buff, since my hat has been fully sweat soaked for a while. Maybe that'll help with the sweat getting in my eyes. These are faring fairly well. I don't have any hot spots. My pre-existing blisters here and here still tender, but they don't feel very raw. Lots of toe room as per usual, no issue there. I am, however, pretty sore right in here, and I don't know if that's because of the stiff architecture of the shoe or if I'm not used to this arch pressure here. Can tell that this is definitely one of the wear spots for me. But otherwise they're holding up pretty well, especially with the variety of surfaces. I don't have a ton of traction with them though, especially in comparison to some of the other great footwear that I wear that really do have good traction, like the Luna Leadville sandals and the Vivo Barefoot Modus. Those have excellent traction. I've never felt like I was sliding, but with these there were a few times when I was going on an uphill grade on gravel and I didn't feel like I was super secure, like I really had to dig my toes in. Visited the trail now and am on just the last leg home. There are times when I use this last bit as a cool down and I'll actually walk or do like my slowest, like a level 1 run, shuffle home just to cool off. I'm going to try to do a pained run home, see how I can get there, but I was just cutting through the parking lot here and I saw this. They look to be purposely placed. There's definitely some personalization here, so I guess maybe it's an outdoor meeting place. This is a church, so maybe they have like a youth group that meets out here. That's kind of cool. They're nice looking stumps at least. And saw this garden. Couldn't help but stop. It's so beautiful. I'll often shoot through here at night, but you never really get to appreciate how lovely it is. And also, these things, they look like they'd be from some kind of Dr. Seuss creation. Like I'm expecting a head to just pop up and have those be sprouting out of the top of it. Little purple fluffy unicorn thingies. Oh, so pretty. Looks like some kids have had fun here. Let's see what's in the little free library. I need to bring some more books over here. Oh, looks like there's some new contributions. That's good. Well, there's actually a couple that aren't too bad. Oh, and some seeds. It's not often I come through and there's actual seeds. I think I'm going to grab a pouch and see if there's anyone I know who wants some. Those are awesome. Love that little butterfly bench. Just got home, mixed up my post-run protein shake. That ended up being 17.6 kilometers. I still have yet to re-break the 20-kilometer mark, but that's okay. I'm still pretty happy with the progress I've been making. Blistershield, it's by Two Toms. They make a couple different products that I use, and it's a silicone powder, non-staining, non-toxic, non-greasy. They recommend it for pretty much anything that you need powder for that would cause friction. Enough said. Thanks for joining me on this run at Run Build Geek, and please like and subscribe. Share some comments on the kind of runs you've been doing lately.